This is a Tiny Hands Challenge. Take one. Yes.
Hi everyone, my name's Kelsey.
And my name is Becky.
And we are the Sorry Girls. And today we're going to do some basics of DIYing. I don't know if we've ever done this. So we're gonna do a couple of basic techniques
and show you 4 very simple DIY tutorials. I think you guys are really gonna love this, so let's get started. First up is how to paint. Okay, I gotta choose some brushes first. This one. It's important to have a variety of brushes when painting anything. So, you know, sometimes it takes a while to choose the right one, but patience is key. Okay. Always important to prepare the workspace properly. First step in painting is going to be to do the background, the landscape first, and then you can build in details after. Am I allowed to tape these to my hands at all? Like, this is gonna be impossible.
Yeah, because normally you tape your paintbrushes to your hands.
So I'm gonna do a nice, you know, cotton candy-esque sunset in the background. So I have my larger brush in my right hand, and I'm gonna load up some pink and some blue, and start with that. Let's do some pink first. Matches my nail polish today. You don't have to be, you don't have to be too perfect with this, you know. The sky is never perfect. Only happy accidents here in the wonderful world of painting. So right where the sun sets, it's often warmest, and then above and below it, the sky is a little cooler. We'll slowly transition into some blue. Yes, gorgeous. Painting is so relaxing. So now you can see my sky is really coming together, and it's time to move on to some detail. This is really simple. You can draw whatever you're feeling. Some birds, some mountains. I'm gonna do some trees. I'm gonna use my smaller brush. Yes, the small one. As you guys can tell, I'm not left-handed, so this is a little more difficult than normal. The only reason it's more difficult than normal. You go in like a Z pattern, it really helps form the trees. It's okay if your colors start to blend together. Happy accident, just means you need more paint. Happy trees. Happy trees. Oh, beautiful. This tree is awfully lonely. We'll give him a friend over here. And if you feel like your sky is ever getting a little lost, it's fine to come back in and touch it up at the same time. And lastly, I'm just gonna add some details to the tree with a nice brown. Oh, yes. And as you can see, I now have a beautiful landscape photo, and it was very easy to achieve. So as with any painting job, now it's time to clean up, wash our hands with any paint that may have accidentally got on there, and we can move on to the next project. I was about to use my hand, but nah. Like, I've never cried while making a YouTube video before, till today.
So I'm gonna get started with doing some basics of planting. As you guys know, we love plants on this channel, and I don't know if we've ever showed you how to plant something from start to finish, so we're gonna do that today. So when potting, one of the most important things is drainage. As you can see here, this one, we have a hole in the bottom and a little plate to catch any excess water. But we also are going to add in some rocks, and you can do this if your pot doesn't have a hole in the bottom. Adding some rocks adds a layer of drainage. We're gonna wanna use something that's not too dry. So this is a regular potting soil and cacti mix. Oh, we don't wanna get any in the bottom here, so let's keep this out of the way. So once it's about 2/3 of the way full, we're going to just dig a little hole in the middle here, and that's where we're going to put our plants. Make sure your plant is in there. Just be nice and careful in there, and make sure if it's not standing up, you can just push it in there a little bit so it stands up straight. I have another little guy. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and add in some extra soil. And then I'm gonna put my last little succulent in here. Oh my God. That is looking so cute. So I'm just gonna add this back to my bottom drainage tray. And then the very last step, actually, let's clean up a little bit before we move on to the last step. And then the very last step is to always make sure that you give your new plants a little bit of a water.
You hold it like here.
Sure, no problem, Becky. And then place it in a nice sunny spot for optimal growth.
Okay, next up we're gonna try something that's actually really fun, and this is pottery. Now we have an actually really fun battery operated pottery wheel that we're gonna use today. So all you need is some pottery clay and a little spray bottle of water, and we're gonna try and make a little bowl with this. So first things first is gonna turn the wheel on and get the clay spinning. So we wanna get this clay as wet as possible. That's gonna make it really easy to mold. So we have a nice spray bottle here, and you know, I think actually it's probably easiest to spray it in its holder. I mean, that's why there is a holder after all. No, not at me. But you know, it's fine to use the old wrist sometimes. Okay. Keep things nice and neat on the workspace at all times. Now, it's really simple. You just get to it. Just hold it nice and tight and it should start to make a nice round shape. I mean, lumpy bowls are also trendy right now. Obviously, we know that bowls need a hole in the middle, so trick to doing that is just, okay, we're gonna stop it. Just, don't be afraid to get in there. Yeah. Oh yeah, great, perfect. Look at that, the bowl's starting to come together. Recenter her. Cool. You know, don't be afraid to add more water when you need to. Round the bowl out. Don't be afraid to be firm with it, you know. Tell the bowl who's boss. It really is all about the two-handed action, one in the middle and one on the side, and in no time, you'll have a bowl. It's actually coming together. I mean, I'll pick up the whole thing just to show you. Successful pottery is all about patience. Just gonna smooth out this one side a little more. This is really coming together, guys. Pottery is simple. So once you're happy with the shape that you've created, which I am in love with this bowl, by the way, you can take it off your wheel and let it dry. And of course, don't forget to wash those clayey hands, guys. You know, sometimes clay is a bit sticky, so you gotta be
Wait, aren't you supposed to use like the
delicate. Carl, how am I gonna manage that? And just a pro tip, an easy way to take pottery off wheels is to use a wire or a fishing wire or some sort of string and go from the bottom, and it will slide the pottery right off the wheel. Oh, look at that. And this is how my little bowl turned out, you guys. This is so adorable. So again, just let it air dry and your clay creation should be ready in a couple hours.
And lastly, we're going to do a highly requested basic, and this is the basics of sewing. So I'm just gonna start out with some fabric here and a sewing machine. I'm actually going to flip my fabric inside out. And next time I'm going to be using a rotary tool. We recently discovered this and we'll link it below for you guys. It just seems a lot easier than scissors, and just use it on a cutting mat and it makes a perfect straight line and you don't have to like spend time cutting. That's difficult.
Especially when you have tiny hands.
Okay, ready. Hold on. Okay.
What shape is that supposed to be?
It's an accident. Oh no, this part didn't get cut.
What happened, tiny hands? You got a problem?
It didn't cut. That looks great. We're gonna get rid of this excess fabric, and then we're gonna make a rectangle pillow, obviously. Did I even say that we're making a pillow yet? Oh my God, silly me. So we're gonna be making a pillow today, and I have my fabric folded in half, again, with the good sides together, so that we can just sew up 3 sides, and you don't have to sew up the bottom, because the bottom is a fold. Genius. Okay, I'll talk about the gap later. Okay, so we're just gonna get some pins here.
What do you do with that?
What do you mean, what do I do? I just put these in so that when I'm sewing, everything stays together. Oh my God. Okay, now that we have pins all around the perimeter of our pillow, you're gonna wanna just make sure that you leave a gap here so that we can flip it inside out afterwards. So we're gonna take this to our sewing machine. No problem, I've done this lots of times. Okay, so I have my project loaded. Wait, I almost forgot my thimble. Safety first, I wanna use protection, so let me just go put on my thimble. My thimble! Always use protection. Oh, Oh, we have zigzag mode on. Let's turn that down. Oh no! So you're gonna wanna go a little bit forwards, and then you're just gonna hold down your reverse button and then go back. Which would work if my hands worked. And then you can just go ahead and go forward again. I thought I turned that down.
You might as well just go with it now.
All right, just gonna go with the zig.
Freaking stumble.
This is where it gets a little tricky. So go slowly, lift up your foot. It helps if your needle's in the fabric so that you can just nicely rotate your fabric. Protection. Okay. You know what? I'm feeling really confident right now, so I'm actually gonna lose the thimble for now. It's just getting in the way. Okay, make sure the needle's in, and again, lift up, rotate your fabric, place the foot down, and continue. And right here, folks, this is where we stop because we need to leave that gap so that we're able to flip our pillow inside out. Remember, leave a gap. So to finish this off, I'm gonna go ahead again with that reverse stitch button, reverse stitch to lock the stitch. Slide out your project, and then you can just cut it on the back here.
Yeah.
Got that?
Yeah. Wow.
F***ing right. Okay, this is hard. With my project sewn, we still have to do a little bit more sewing, but first I'm going to flip this inside out. And just like that, it's flipped inside out. Next, I'm gonna take some batting and go ahead and stuff my pillow. How? Okay, now once you have all your batting in, you can just go ahead and fold this edge, and then you just go ahead and sew up this line. And then you just want to cut any loose strands. And that's it, a simple, easy way to sew your own pillow. I hope you guys had as much fun with this video as we did.
I hope you learned some new techniques. Maybe you haven't tried pottery or painting before. But for real, guys, this tiny hands challenge was very hard and very funny to do. You can just get these on Amazon if you want to try them first yourself. But I feel like there is a big DIY community out there that should try this because it's very hard.
I'm thinking Simply Nailogical and Lord DIY. I want to see you guys do some tiny hands challenge. I know you could do something fun and creative. Also, we need help with this manicure. Thank you guys for watching. If you like it, make sure you give it a like.
And if you love it, wait. And if you love it, sub it.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.